Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, Detroit. Welcome to the world. I'd like to welcome you back to another episode of the Hook Podcast. I'm your host, Keith Butler, with my co-host, Jeffrey Big Daddy Lowe.
What up, though?
Our sports analyst,
What up, though?
Leland the Man Stein.
Yo, 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 yo.
What up, though?
And our newbie, who's no longer a newbie, Mike Hudson.
Yeah, hello, Detroit.
What up, though?
All right, boys. We'd like to welcome everybody. I'm glad we were able to get together. We decided we're going to eat a little Happy Pizza today, which is a Detroit staple. It's a pretty good pizza. And
Where did he get that name Hudson from?
that's his name, Michael Hudson.
Really? No black people named Hudson.
See,
Hudson in the stove pot.
I wasn't going to start it, but
You don't remember Al Hudson?
see, he done started it already.
You don't remember Al Hudson?
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a pickup. This is a constant continuation of the battle between Stein and Hudson.
You've been to Africa. I ain't seen one Hudson.
They talk about each other's last names, Stein and Hudson.
I was looking for a Hudson over there. When we was in
You don't
South
remember
Africa,
Hudson's department
it
store?
was one. They were Hudson.
Well, I don't think you're going to find a Lowe, a Butler, or a Stein over there.
But
So.
none of them names.
But anyway, we're going to start the show off with
And no Lowe's neither, because they too busy there in London.
with a toast of one of our favorite drinks, Uncle Nearest, and my frat brother from the Noble Fraternity of Kappa Alpha Psi Incorporated. Shut up, Mike. Leland Stein brought in us a bottle, and we're going to take a quick toast before we get started. All right, boys. There we go. Chip it up. Let's go. That's pretty smooth. Whose phone is on?
Sure.
Jeff,
That's very smooth.
Well, why are you choking?
Because he still got that pizza in his throat.
I mean,
hit both of them down. That pizza and the uncle.
That's very smooth.
I did do a little research on Stein.
Okay. Oh, here we go.
And, I was pleasantly surprised that, there were a history of slaves. And,
You don't have to take this time.
and one of the things
I
that
gotta take nothing. What makes me I gotta
and
take?
one of the things that amazes me, these slave last name was Stein. I was impressed they can read and write. Yeah, so
Well,
I
he's
mean,
a
I was
writer.
like,
He's a writer, Mike.
Well, that
oh,
would
okay,
explain
that-
some of it,
yeah, yeah. I mean, but they still made them cook and pick their cotton. Yeah.
Well, what about the Hudson slaves? Were there?
No, there was none named Hudson. Never.
They just made
And they was all light skinned. I said, look
made
at.
them up.
I said, I could tell they Stein because they're all light skinned.
Oh my God!
Hey,
So they all work. They all work in
Yeah,
the house.
yeah, they was all in the house.
Hey, but see, but that's what happens when you're talking to the fools that don't know what they're talking about. Because actually, Stein, I'm Leland Stein III. My grandfather, Leland the First, just so happened to be purple. All the Steins are.
Just
They
dark.
took the name in Sunshine, Kentucky.
Sunshine, Kentucky.
Was
Just
my-
took the name.
Did you say
because somebody
Sunshine?
helped them? They helped them, and they just like everybody else. You took the name of the mother scooter that helped you.
That's what you
You
did.
took the name.
But
yeah,
did you say Sunshine?
Sunshine.
Sunshine, Kentucky.
Yeah.
so
I
yeah.
mean, just that name alone
But yeah,
will
that's
let
my
you know
granddaddy.
you wouldn't want to be a slave there, son.
Yeah.
You wouldn't.
Can we get going? Because we don't set Black America back 5,000 years.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, we are. 'Cause
Oh my God! So today we're gonna talk about something Mike brought in again. Something going on in the city of Detroit.
Yeah,
It's called what, midnight basketball.
yeah.
So what's that about? What's the purpose of it? Why basketball? Why midnight?
A couple of weeks
kids
ago.
are sleeping, man. Nobody
Yeah,
doing
no.
no midnight basketball.
it-
What you doing, man?
Yeah,
We gotta get some better topics than this.
it's one of the idea
Well, that's-
brainchild that the current
Midnight
mayor
anything is good.
decided to come up with because they had an incident where the teens were going into downtown Detroit,
Team takeover.
right?
Yeah.
Kind of
they
becoming unruly.
I
So
was sitting at the police at the Lakers game, the Pistons game. They was talking about that.
Right.
They was getting ready to leave the Pistons game, go downtown, doing extra shifts because they was trying to control the
Yeah,
kids.
teen,
acting a little
yeah, that's
wild
that's
right now.
nationwide though.
Oh,
isn't
yeah,
it?
it's all
Yeah.
teens.
Yeah.
You know, get a little wild when after school time. You know,
And you know, the rec centers, you know, sometimes can be underutilized. You know, so the mayor came up with an idea to come up with to make the rec centers more accessible by having them programming that'll start later on in the evening when mostly the youth from 16 and under will be home. You know, the rec center will be open up. You know, you have to be between. I think now they lowered the age from 16 till 26, and you know the swimming pool will be available, and of course you know basketball.
who's doing it? What facility?
Right now they're having 4 facilities: Highland, Adam Butzel,
What's
Kimberly.
in the mix?
Yeah, well, I mean Adam Butzel always going to be in the mix because that's the largest rec center because it offers all 4 of the major sports.
Right.
You know,
What is the other
Hockey.
two?
Matter of fact, the
Hockey.
movie was filmed there too about a group of black hockey players.
right.
Yeah,
Produced
they
by
sent me
Gerald
down there,
McBride.
Do a story on them guys.
Okay, what are the
hockey team?
what are the other 2 rec centers?
It's legendary.
Well, originally it's going to be at Hyman, Adam Butzel, and Kimberly. You know, and then
Southwest Detroit.
yeah, and then Coleman Young will be sort of like an overflow. Say, if we become really popular, they'll start directing people. Hey, now let's open up the Coleman A. Young Rec Center. You know, and the rec centers are going to be Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday from 3 to 11.
And mind you, this is nothing new. Midnight basketball has been going on for many years.
I've not heard of it, man.
Yeah, I mean, not this. I mean, they're just bringing it back. But I remember midnight basketball. Even when I was growing up, I remember they used to do midnight basketball.
You know, and you know, even though you know they're not going to play basketball at midnight, midnight just sounds catchy, but the rec centers will stay open till 11 o'clock.
Okay, so when does it open and it runs from what to 11?
Well, a lot of the programming for the adults that's going to be in the midnight basketball,
Or just throughout the day?
yeah, throughout the day. But in terms of for extracurricular activity for gym and stuff like that, the rec centers will stay open until 11. Then they are going to have a basketball league.
Okay, so basically then it's your everyday rec center activities. They're just extending the hours.
Yeah,
Okay. all
yeah.
right. That's
and then
midnight.
on Wednesdays it'll be women's night. So they're going to have a basketball league, you know, for women.
So is it just on Wednesday? Will it just be women allowed, or will everybody be allowed?
Just in the league. But anybody can come in.
Okay.
But in terms of in the gym from 7 to 11, all the programming and all the activities on Wednesday be strictly geared towards women.
Is there a cost associated with this?
No,
Oh, so it's
no,
free.
free registration.
Now, is it Detroit citizens only, or can the suburbanites come in, or?
Well, I mean, suburbanites can use the rec center now. They just pay an additional fee.
Okay.
So I'm assuming, you know, they're not going to turn anybody away, you know. But that is a good question. You know, I know if you're a Detroit resident, is you don't have to register. You go online to register because they're giving you a pair of gym shoes and a jersey, you know, for participating.
That you get gym shoes and a jersey?
Yep.
You don't have to pay for them?
No.
So how much is registration then?
Well, that's free right now. You know, especially if you go to what they call occupythesummer.com.
What is that again?
Occupy the summer.
Occupy?
Occupythesummer.com.
Occupy
The summer.
thesummer.com.
Yeah, and you go on there and you register, and what they'll probably do is give, you know, because they are going to give like T-shirt, a basketball T-shirt and gym shoes. You know, when you go on and register, that gives them a count to know how many. Because I don't know who donated the gym shoes. So, but at least they can say, okay, we got, you know, 2,000 people registered.
See, that's one of the good things about America. Like Jeff said, these kind of programs been going on for a long time.
Yeah.
And they just get cut off because they get mean and mad and they cut everything.
Yeah, when they start talking about funding, those are the
Right.
first things to go.
They do. because I worked in the NYSP, the National Youth Sports thing, for about 6 or 7 years at UD, and we was taking 500 kids off the street. You know, Reuben Washington ran that particular one, and I was taught tennis and taught a class over there. So we held at UD 5 days a week, and we exposed them to tennis, softball, different sports. And
You talking about U of D College or U of D High?
UD Mercy.
Okay.
That's where we held it. We had 500 kids. They had one at Wayne State, had about 500.
And when
they
when was
cut it.
that? What years were those?
They cut that baby when Bush got in there.
Okay.
So how long ago was that, man?
So that's about, what, 20 years ago or something? Because he had
Yeah,
him,
maybe one.
Biden,
20.
Obama was in for
about
2 years.
Yeah, they cut it about the
2 terms. 2
12,
terms.
about 2012.
Okay, yeah. So about
That's
14
smack.
some odd years.
Just one of them things, you know, they could get on the cutting board and all these programs that really help people and do positive things. And anytime you take 500 kids off the street,
Yeah.
especially poor
So the-
kids,
so
they
the-
really don't have nothing to do at home.
So then this is like a continuation or a rebuild of
Similar type programs.
something like that.
Well, yeah. As far as that,
extending-
it's only for the
free.
summer.
It was
It's
free.
only for the
YSP was free.
yeah. And this right now is only for the summer.
Right.
And the program and everything
And this is the first time. This is the first year right now.
for being actually, like you said, I remember growing up.
No, I mean, but this program, this is his first year.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
and
it's the first year being rejuvenated by the mayor.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, the mayor is bad girls.
I mean, under this title, this is the first year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Any athletes participating? Any
That's a good question.
basketball players?
I mean, as far as I know of, no. You know, but I mean, but they did have 4 positions open, and I'm going to run one of the centers. You know, as a retired recreation professional, I can't come back as a city employee, but I can come back as a contractor.
And ladies and gentlemen, Michael
Yeah.
Hudson can't make a free throw. I don't know what how you gonna run any basketball.
And
Man can't dribble. He can't pass.
What shoe company is associated with the program?
no, now that part of it hasn't been laid out. You know, because it's really like just now unfolding. You know, getting information out there. Because you know the program actually supposed to start next month on the 16th.
Right.
And that
So-
would be
Well, the
June.
reason I asked
Yeah.
that because I noticed I know that Detroit Pal had a drive where I forgot the shoe company that donated so many pair of gym shoes to Detroit Pal and their efforts, you know, to the kids and everything.
Yeah, I mean,
There's
that's,
some partners out there.
yeah,
willing
yeah.
to do. You just got to go get it and have a good cause.
And like
You'd
you
be
said,
shocked.
like you say all the time, Stan, you know, we can't do it by ourselves. And so, you know, programs like this have got to have some kind of sponsorship, obvious.
Right.
If they're giving away shirts and gym
yeah,
shoes.
no doubt.
Who it is really doesn't matter. Just the fact that somebody's willing to do that, you know, to come forth and say, hey, 'cause they're going to write it off anyway. But still, you know, that's something that the kids or the families doesn't have to worry about providing.
Yeah, and but the nice thing about this is designed for young adults from 16 to 25. Because the rec center already have a bunch of summer camps, which the City of Detroit Recreation Department. You'd be surprised. They have some amazing summer camps, and so they got something for that age group. You know, this age group is going to be for 16 to 25. You know, the swimming pool will be open. You know, the game room will be open, and of course, and I think like the name Midnight is catchy. You know what I'm saying? Even though the rec center you won't be playing basketball at midnight, but when you hear it, immediately is what it captures your attention.
Yeah.
You know, and I think
Kids dreaming they're going to stay up to midnight.
yeah,
No, you won't.
and one
If
Get your
I'm
butt
not
on there at
mistaken,
5 o'clock.
I think this is a nationwide campaign that not just for the city of Detroit, but other cities too are involved in the Midnight Basketball program.
And if not, this is a good starting point, and it helps Detroit become a shining example of some positivity. Because, we always get a black eye for something, one thing or another. Something happens out in the suburb. They don't say, the suburb name. They always tag it Metro Detroit, which always affiliates bad stuff to Detroit. Just say where it happened. Don't tag Detroit to it. But this kind of stuff here helps give Detroit, put Detroit in a positive light.
Well, Detroit in a positive light is interesting because people were talking about, there was a lot of Cleveland fans in Detroit. And then when Toronto came, there's there's a lot of Toronto fans at the game. Well, they're looking at it all wrong. People are starting to look at Detroit again as a place they don't mind.
It's a destination spot now.
Yeah. We're going to go. Our team playing there. We right down the road.
So
Let's go spend a couple days.
So what you're saying is that we've
we crossed it over
we've
past some of
crossed
the
that line
propaganda.
as a comeback city here in America.
Well, destination spot.
propaganda is still
And the good thing, and programs like this
Right.
help build the city of Detroit. We need more programs like Midnight Basketball. That is just.
I mean, and the nice thing about it,
Midnight golf.
already,
yeah.
it's just like all the rec centers,
20
the
years.
floors are brand new. The facility. But I do want to give a shout out to the group director. She was and really enthusiastic. Our director and assistant director.
What are the names?
What I hate to start enunciating name and misenunciate. But I'll when they hear this, they'll know.
You don't even know your
Crystal.
boss name.
Well,
He just go, hey,
I mean,
sorry,
you got Keith.
I got your
You got
name.
Keith
I'm gonna say it
Fedora.
wrong. What's your damn name?
You got Crystal, and
Hey,
then you
boss.
got Ricardo.
That's his boss.
You
Please
got
tell him the
Ricardo.
name.
I just if I leave out a name, then it's like I'll just say the group director. No, but really, she is amazing.
Yeah.
I would, she is.
This is the
Group director.
the-
See what the-
Over one of the
of
facilities.
the rec
Right.
department, or
Yeah, she's the group director over GSD, which the recreation department is under GSD.
okay.
And then, our director, which is Keith Flenoy, amazing guy. I mean, and then you got Ricardo,
Always
Ricardo
Second
Marvel,
Life be like a
and,
recreation director.
really good. And like I said, one thing I can say about, the rec department, the summer camps are ran, they got a bunch of,
Yeah, they got a lot of stuff going on.
a lot of stuff. And this is just another tool to add to it. So hopefully, people, like I said, if you're interested, go to the website, occupythesummer.com and register now. So that way at least you guaranteed to get in, because once you reach a certain number,
Do we know what that number is? Or?
no.
Okay.
No.
And is there a phone number in case people don't want to?
You know what? I prefer that they go to the website.
Okay.
That way, the phone number that you need to call is on there, and I don't know it by heart. Plus, while you're there, you get a chance to complete the registration.
What is that website again?
OccupyTheSummer.com.
OccupyTheSummer.com. Yeah. You got that, Jeff?
Got it.
Okay. Just want to make
Yeah.
sure.
So as far as the programming, like what all we're going to offer, only reason I don't want to speak premature on it now,
Right.
but for sure,
In case something
one of
changes
the
or-
right. Well, for sure, one of the main components is going to be, the basketball leagues.
Right.
But in terms of anything else, and like I say, swimming, is available. So just come out, have a good time.
That's good stuff.
Yeah.
And
I sure when they mention basketball, it hurts, man, because started playing at St. Cecilia at 10 years old and played it 40 years basketball. Now 71, I gotta admit, I done threw it away.
Well, I mean, there's some things you just can't do anymore, Stein. You
Well,
know?
no, at least I ain't running them down that court. We was at McKenzie the last, and they had the seniors play the faculty. So I'm just gonna show off, right? I'm out there to go full speed.
How old were you then?
Well, since that was probably about 10 years ago. So I was 61.
Which is probably still too old to be goofing around.
Well, it
with that.
was, because I pulled 2 hamstrings
See there? There
at
you go.
one time.
See, now if you had
And the
been
ball
part,
went flying up in the air, and I went flying to the bench where
if,
the
you,
ice was.
if you'd have been part of the midnight
And Bonner
basketball,
was sitting over there right next to me,
Right.
the principal.
if you'd have been part of midnight basketball, that probably wouldn't have happened.
No, because I'd have been in better shape.
Well, maybe
Maybe
they
you
probably
would've
wouldn't have
been-
just let you play.
coaching.
Yeah, maybe you'd have been coaching. Yeah.
Did a lot of coaching.
But now this program here was it the baby of the new mayor?
Yes.
Yeah. What's her name again? Mary.
Sheffield.
Okay, I just want to make sure you know. And
Now,
ladies
it's
and
the
gentlemen,
same if you don't know the mayors.
yeah, that's the first woman mayor in the city of Detroit, long tenure of existence, and I'm glad she's there. You know, times are changing, especially considering what's going on around the world.
But America still never
difficult.
had a female president. All our allies have Britain, Germany.
Well, that's
Almost
the
everybody.
conversation.
Well, we've had a female vice president.
But
We
this,
did-
this
we
is a
had one.
conversation for another episode. You guys.
We had one.
Yeah, it's a conversation for another episode.
Yeah, but like I said, before we move on to the next topic, like I said, you know, for everybody there to hear this, you know, just please, you know, go to the website, you know, occupiedthesummer.com, register, you know, reserve your spot for a lot of fun.
So let me ask you this, Mike. You said you're going to be directing one of the.
Yes.
So what are your jobs? What is
Well,
it going to entail?
You know, right now, it's my understanding that I'll get there at 3 o'clock.
In the
And then
afternoon?
they'll have a separate staff, because you still have the regular staff that's running the regular programming for the community.
So your staff will be off, separate from.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and then, you know, at that point, you know, once we start, we'll have our own programming. So when somebody come in, you know, we'll give them, because they'll have two programs, one for the regular center, then we'll have a program that's geared solely for the midnight basketball
Now
program.
let me ask you this: when your program starts at 3 o'clock, does the regular functioning of the
No,
program, the rec center, shut down, or do they continue till?
I mean-
are they going to run till 11 o'clock too, or are they
No,
going to shut
no.
down at normal
See,
time?
those are very good questions, but in terms of shutting down, no. In other words, typically, youth programs typically run to about 6.
Okay.
And then, most parents are coming to get them. In terms of, as far as, it's not going to be separate, okay, the kids over here, adults over here. Once we actually start doing it, then we'll sort of figure out, what program can actually start at 3 o'clock for, adults.
And this
But
is,
for sure, from 6:30, we'll start transitioning to more the adult program that'll be in the gym on those days.
okay. And this is running all summer, so
Yeah.
June, July, August,
I think it's 10 weeks,
10 weeks.
total of 10 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah. And, hopefully on the next podcast, we've been started, then I'll be able to say, okay, this is how everything's going to be laid out. Right now, everything is sort of in its infant stages in terms of, right now, the only thing that's really cemented is the basketball league. Those are going to start at 7 o'clock. Like I say, on Wednesdays, it's strictly for women. On Thursdays, it'll be for men.
You're
and
not going to be doing that with the basketball, are you? Why you laugh?
I think that was a direct
see-
check on your skills.
See, to be honest with you, keep saying that. I had one of the best positions on the basketball team.
Oh, a bench. Water boy?
No,
Towel
I was an Indian guard.
Oh, what? An Indian guard.
Yeah.
End of the bench guard.
Yeah, I sit at the end of the bench and I guarded. So
And the stupidity rings in again.
yeah, well, I mean, football was
That's
my
better than nothing.
You're right. I mean, football. I started in football, basketball. I was just happy to make the team. I mean, I knew I wasn't, going to start. So me just being on the team was good. So I mostly sat at the end of the bench. So they started calling me. They go to
How
Indian
you even
guard.
get on the end of the bench if you can't dribble?
Well, I can dribble.
That's why he was on the end of the bench.
No.
Mike, I
Look,
have
when
a
the ball
question for you.
came off the
Don't mean
court,
you can't
end of the
play.
bench guy just threw it back in. That's all.
Will some of these recreation centers be participating against one another in a
Oh, that's a good
tournament-like
question.
environment?
And
I
will
mean,
there be a tournament?
I mean, that's a good question. That's
They have tournaments at the facility site.
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
You know, because people round everybody up.
Right.
Yeah,
I
but,
mean,
will
but-
they have, like Jeff said, will they be participating against each rec center?
You know-
and will there be a tournament at the end of it all?
That's a very good question. I mean, it'll be a league within the center. Each center will have their league,
Right,
and that's a very good question. Say within the center, if the guys got together and put together a team that would represent the center, then it could be a
At the
possibility.
end of the year, y'all
At
can
the end
make
of the
it an
year,
all-star
then we
team.
can make it like a 3-game tournament.
Facilities.
Since it's 3 rec center, we'll just make it a 3-game tournament for a weekend. You play all 3 games. They might not be full lengths in terms of, time wise. But yeah, I can see that. At the end of the before the summer's end, I would probably tell the guys, okay, y'all need to put together a team that's going to represent the center,
Right.
and then we'll go play Kennedy, and then the other rec center. Then we'll probably have a 3-game tournament or something like
And
that.
that's for your Pacific age also. And
Yeah.
that'd be great.
Yeah, well, you
Well,
don't
no,
have
I mean,
16-year-olds
six-
playing 25-year-olds.
Right.
Well,
That might
I don't. No, we're not going to separate it like that. Since our target group is 16 to 26, whoever make that team, if a 16-year-old can make the center's team, well then
He makes the team.
he makes the team. No, we're not, because that would be too much to try to cherry pick somebody
'Cause
16 out
then
of
you
each.
got 4 or 5 different teams.
Right,
Okay.
right.
You had to
Right.
get involved with all the, birth certificates and somebody catching them.
Right, right.
Well, Stein, we
Well,
know
I mean-
you ain't 16, so
No, not me.
No, I
you
mean,
ain't 26 either.
I
so
mean,
we-
when
you don't need your birth certificate.
Not
You
no
either,
more.
Jeff. What you laughing at?
Not no more.
No, I don't. No.
so like I said, come
I
out.
went to the store the other day, man. The dude was like, "Oh man, OG, you go in front of me." He did that. And young fellas,
You act like
sagging pants.
you act like you surprised at that.
No, but it
It
is.
still just made me feel old
OG,
again. I
boy.
was thankful.
Oh,
Yeah.
OG.
Yeah,
I mean, they
yeah.
hold doors for you now.
Well,
In the hood.
Mike
I was in the hood.
They got nice people in the hood.
I
What
know
you
that's
talking about?
Hudson,
my
you
whole
got
point.
anything else you want to say about this before we wrap
No,
it up?
I mean, I'm kind of excited. Looking forward to, running one of the centers, and I'm hoping that it'll be Adam Butzel, because that's sort of where I worked for like almost 14 years before I retired, and it's just amazing how even young adults, when they get used to you, even though, like you said, I'm 71, and how much respect that they start to show you as long as you show them respect. And I'm just excited to see exactly what we can do in those 10 weeks.
My man Al still over at Adam Butzel.
Yeah.
Al Williams.
What?
That's my man.
No, Al retired.
He retired?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Midnight basketball. We hope you enjoyed this, and I think listening to everybody talk about the ages, I think we want to change the name from the Hook to the Old Boys Podcast. 'Cause everybody's
That
65
website
and over.
again. That website again.
Yeah, Mike, what's that website again?
OccupyTheSummer.com.
OccupyTheSummer.com. I'd like to thank my host, Jeffrey Lowe.
What up, dope?
I'd like to thank our sports analyst, Leland Stein.
Yes, sir. Spell occupy for the people that can't spell it.
And I'd like,
they get it right.
I'd like to thank Michael Hudson for bringing us that information.
It's always fun to drop
And yeah,
in.
spell it right quick,
OccupyThe Summer.com.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen.
OccupyTheSummer.com.
If you're in Detroit and you guys want something to do, bring your kids on down.
The
We'll see you later. Bye-bye.